Now, here's George Roberts.
I'm George Roberts, and joining me on the program is Sarah Wallace, Director of the Pocono Chamber of Commerce. Sarah, great to have you with us today.
Thanks so much, George. Great to be here.
Let's talk about the Chamber of Commerce. I'm sure a lot of people out there are wondering, what is the purpose of having the Chamber in the community?
The Chamber has been around for many, many years. Communities often have chambers, and the purpose of them is to support the business community, to help with growth, to help with promotion, to help businesses, give them a place where they have a voice to come together, share experiences, share challenges.
You know, I'm sure a lot of people are maybe aware when they go on vacation, they might see a Chamber of Commerce at the location that they're visiting, but just about every location or county or town has a Chamber of Commerce, and if you're looking for information, that's one of the places to go to find out more about the town.
Absolutely. It can be a great resource if you're looking for businesses in the area for different things that you may need, whether it's an experience or a lunch, or you got a flat tire, or you need, my car broke down on the way here. The Chamber of Commerce can certainly provide those resources to people.
The Pocono Chamber was founded in 1910, but has gone through, obviously over the years, a lot of different changes. But a partnership has been formed between the Pocono Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Lehigh Valley Chamber of Commerce. That was back in about 2018. Why did that happen?
So the Chamber, as you said, has been around for over 100 years. During more recent decades, there were some challenges that were presented from previous leadership that put the Chamber in a position where we didn't know if we were going to stay or go. And the board at that time felt that the Chamber was necessary for the community, and the way to keep it going was to partner with the Greater Lehigh Valley. Back in 2018, when the agreement was made, the Lehigh Valley was able to provide staff and resources to keep the Chamber's doors open and to keep it supporting our business community up here. As time has passed and we've become a stronger chamber, we have changed that agreement to kind of be beneficial to both chambers. We still rely on them for some staff resourcing. We have a partnership for best practices. There's member benefits, so our members are able to attend their events at their member prices, different things like that. We appreciate the Lehigh Valley and all that they've done to keep the Pocono Chamber going, and it's been great to see us grow and to become a stable chamber in the area again.
Sure. We should probably debunk rumors that the Greater Lehigh Valley owns the Pocono Chamber of Commerce, tells the Chamber of Commerce what to do. I'm sure you hear different things from the community, but none of that is true. Correct.
So it's, before I worked for the Chamber, I was on the board, actually started in 2018, when the partnership had just come into effect. And so my history and experience with it has been dual in that, that board side of things and now on the employment side of things. And it's interesting to me how many people in the community have really no idea what the partnership means or have some sort of opinion that's not correct. A lot of people think that the partnership is, we are under the Lehigh Valley. We have never, ever been a complete part of them. We've always been a partner in the sense that we have our own board, we have our own budget, and we have our own staff. That staff may be contracted through the Greater Lehigh Valley, but they're Pocono proud employees.
Sure. And you mentioned the board. We have a full board that operates, an executive board, and everybody's involved in running the Chamber of Commerce here locally.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep. Our board is 25 strong right now with our local leaders, and they are a great support to the staff and to helping us grow and move things forward.
How do you see the partnership benefiting our local chamber here?
I think
they're a big chamber.
Yeah.
Greater Lehigh Valley.
Yes, I believe the 6th largest chamber in the country, if I'm not mistaken. So they definitely give us access to resources, to best practices, and to things that maybe we're at a stage that we can't provide or don't have access to. So there are definitely benefits. Personally, I think that partnerships are the way forward in terms of growth and stability. And I think that partnering with organizations locally and in our region is what's going to help the chamber and those other organizations to continue.
Yeah, sometimes it's helpful to be in with a larger organization just because of the types of resources they have that a small chamber wouldn't necessarily be able to, get their hands on or get involved in sometimes, right?
For sure.
You've seen that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How do you see the partnership benefiting the membership of the Pocono Chamber of Commerce?
The membership can benefit, as I mentioned earlier, from the ability to attend Lehigh Valley events at their member prices. Sometimes they'll have different events than we'll have up here, or they'll have things that pertain to the Lehigh Valley, and some of our members want to expand into that area. So it gives them the opportunity to go down there, network with some of those community members to kind of grow their footprint. It also gives us the opportunity to provide some insurance benefits and access to different resources and maybe some businesses that we don't have up here that, you know, are members down there that they can utilize as well.
Sure, absolutely. And the Lehigh Valley is a big area too.
It's huge.
I mean, like the third largest area in Pennsylvania after Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. So moving forward with this partnership, where do you see things going? Because I know it's always in flux. It's always changing. It's never staying the same. We always have a contract with them, and that changes.
Sure. The partnership, as you mentioned, has evolved since the beginning as we've grown and as needs have changed. And the Valley's been a great partner in that. We have been able to come to the table and kind of figure out what works for both of us. I think that the goal of the Pocono Chamber is to one day be strong enough to maybe do our own staffing and things like that, things that we used to be able to do in the past. The support from the Lehigh Valley has been invaluable getting us to that point. So I think long-term goals would be something like that, but it's my understanding from the board that there's the desire to always have some sort of partnership with them where we share resources, member benefits, and best practices, simply because partnerships, as I said, are kind of the way forward and how you work better together than apart.
And this region hasn't been the same since the early 2000s. I mean, we've lost industry up here, we've lost major businesses. So when you lose those kind of major companies that support the chamber, it does make it difficult to operate the chamber with a lot of small businesses. You try, but I mean, we don't have that, what we used to have years ago. So it is kind of a struggle in a way to keep it operating. Do you see that, you know, continuing, I guess, for the foreseeable future? I
think that chambers in general are all kind of reevaluating as businesses are reevaluating and budgets are changing and, you know, financial contributions change. I know that our partners in many of the counties surrounding us have had conversations about how it's not the same and it is a little bit harder. But I think that the chamber now more than ever should be there to be that resource and that guiding kind of arm to help businesses through these uncertain times.
It's time to get your tickets for the Busy Awards.
Welcome back, everybody.
It's the Academy Awards for Pocono businesses.
Why are you laughing?
On September 18th at Camelback Resort, the winners will be announced live on stage. The night is always full of surprises. Get your dinner and awards show tickets now. Contact the Pocono Chamber of Commerce. The 2025 Busy Awards, Thursday, September 18th at Camelback Resort. Don't miss it.
I would advise everyone to join the chamber.
I love being a member of the Pocono Chamber of Commerce.
If you're a chamber member, you need to be an involved chamber member to get all the benefits out of it.
Any person that's new that joins the chambers will never regret that move.
Sarah, what do you see as the chamber's top priorities as we're moving ahead, you know, through this year and into next year? What are some of the priorities that you're looking at?
As far as the chamber, we're really focusing on member retention and how we can support those efforts and making sure that the members still see the value in being a part of the Chamber of Commerce. I think that in the region, some of the big things that we're looking to try and support would be education. Our assistant manager, Sierra, has taken an active role in participating in many conversations about the daycare crisis and some of the challenges that the workforce faces with being able to come to work because they don't have care for their kids. I know the housing issue is a very large challenge. Having affordable housing in our area to keep people living and working here is something that, you know, PMBB, Pocono Mountains United Way, we're all kind of having these conversations and how we can support it and how we can make an impact there. And then just trying to be there for the businesses when it comes to resources and things that they might need. There's, as I said before, there's so much uncertainty, I think, economically, that businesses are very hesitant to, what's going to happen in the future. Where am I going to be? What am I going to be able to invest in? And where's my money going?
Sure. You mentioned member retention, and I guess that's a difficult thing sometimes, because sometimes I would imagine businesses get into the chamber and not realizing what their part is in the chamber.
Sure, there can be a lot of excitement. You get super stoked to join, and there's a lot. Sierra and Lindsay are fantastic with onboarding and giving the member benefits packet, and they'll follow up with our members because it's so much. It's almost information overload in the beginning. The benefits, the things you can take advantage of, attending events, all of that. So they've done a great job with reaching back out, 30, 60, 90 days. How's it going? What events are you interested in? What can we get you out to? We've got a mixer. Is this something that you'd like to let me get you registered?
Right.
Different things like that. So I think that is huge, but then keeping in touch with them throughout the year. Once a member has an idea of what's going on, that's great, but you can forget that this is a benefit. You can kind of get busy with life and lose touch. So
Sure.
Making some outreach during the year is important. We don't want to be the organization that just sends you an invoice and says, hey, pay your dues. So trying to just kind of be in front of people once or twice a year is important too.
How about dealing with small business versus large business? Is that a challenge?
I don't know if it's a challenge so much as it's different, and you learn to adapt and meet people where they are. A small business is going to have different needs than a large business. I've often said that, the St. Luke's and the Kalaharis of the world aren't going to use the chamber necessarily for marketing the same way that a small business mom and pop would.
Yeah.
But I love to say that being a large business and joining your chamber is kind of the right thing to do for your community. You may not necessarily see the same benefits. You're going to see different benefits, maybe some staff development. Your employees are able to take part in different things, but being a part of that then gives us the ability to continue doing what we do for those smaller businesses in the area.
It's time to get your tickets for the Busy Awards.
Welcome back, everybody.
It's the Academy Awards for Pocono businesses.
Why are you laughing?
On September 18th at Camelback Resort, the winners will be announced live on stage. The night is always full of surprises. Get your dinner and awards show tickets now. Contact the Pocono Chamber of Commerce. The 2025 Busy Awards, Thursday, September 18th at Camelback Resort. Don't miss it.
Joining me now is Sierra Lafergie. She's assistant manager with the Pocono Chamber of Commerce. Great to have you with us, Sierra.
Nice to be here, George.
Hey, let's talk about membership.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce?
So I think it's super important for every local business to be a member of their Chamber of Commerce. Currently we have 470 members. That gives you into such an elite group of businesses in the area, from construction to photography, lodges, insurance. There's so many different members that we have, and getting connected with those businesses and being able to network with them is so important.
Yeah. And what do businesses tell you that they get out of being a chamber member when you talk to them?
I would say promotion, being able to expand their footprint, not just in Monroe County, but to the Lehigh Valley, to the surrounding areas, and getting their name out there is super important.
When you talk to businesses about becoming a member, what are some of the things you tell them about resources, things that would be available to them, or things that would help their business?
So I think it really depends on who I'm talking to, from smaller businesses, larger businesses, from businesses out of the area looking to expand their footprint. I try to change my pitch no matter who I'm talking to specify membership to them, and ask them what are they looking for, so that I can give them actual examples of what, benefits that we provide. So I try to hear from them. I always ask them, tell me about your business, tell me from when you started and why you're looking to join Monroe County. I really want to learn about them so I could find out what they're looking for and being able to share what we provide here at the Chamber.
So when you approach somebody about being a member, What are some of the questions they ask you about, the chamber and being a member?
I would say about our networking opportunities, do you guys do mixers, which obviously we do one every single month, and how much those are. Mixers are free for our members, so that's a huge benefit to those smaller businesses looking to get their name out there, to be able to network for free every single month and having those opportunities. So they'll ask, what kind of events do you guys have? So we'll be able to share our smaller events like our mixers, or our larger events that, further that conversation and, have a bigger impact.
Why is networking so important to businesses? What does that do for them?
Well, I think being in front of businesses is just super valuable. You get to see businesses in the area, but being in front of someone and sharing that face-to-face conversation and, saying this is who I am and showing your face is just so important. We have so many wonderful businesses in the area, but like actually getting to meet with them and network with them and learning about what they do. One of our favorite events that we have is our speed networking mixer, where it's a version of speed dating, but it's speed networking where, you have that conversation for 5 minutes. This is who I am, and you get to learn more about these businesses and what they do, and maybe you wouldn't have the opportunity just, seeing them around.
Sure. Let's talk about some of the regularly scheduled things that the chamber does that people can go to.
Yeah, so like I said, we have mixers every single month. We also have larger events. Upcoming, we have our Busy Awards, which is one of our biggest events of the year that highlight these businesses. We have 11 different categories, or Pick 'em Me Poconos. You could have a vendor spot at Pick 'em Me Poconos. We have upwards of 8,000 attendees from the tri-state area that come from Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York. So, it's a wonderful opportunity to meet the local people in the area, but also people coming to visit, and then they could stop by your business after they're here.
Let's give some details. And you talked about the Busy Awards, which is happening September 18th.
Yeah.
It is like the Academy Awards of the Poconos for businesses, and it's an interesting night. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I love the Busy Awards. It's one of my favorite events that we do. This year we have 11 categories, one being our newest category, Best Customer Service. So businesses get to nominate each other or themselves, and our chamber members get to vote on the winners, and then they find out live who wins that night. So
That's
it's
exciting.
so exciting to see their reaction, see them talk about like, oh my goodness, this is such a big moment for me. And it's great promotion for them to, to have their logo up there and get to see themselves in the big screen.
And what's the theme this year?
Oh, the Casino Royale. Yes, we're so excited. So Busy Awards Casino Royale, it's happening September 18th. So
people dress up too, depending on what the theme is, right? They dress up to be a part of the event, and that's always exciting.
No,
too.
I'm sure we'll have some fun outfits this year with the casino theme, some suits and red and black, and we're so excited.
So if people want tickets for the event that's happening at Camelback Resort on September 18th, how do they get tickets?
So you'd go to our website, you'd go to our calendar, find the date September 18th, and you just register. It's just as easy as that.
And it's open to everybody. Come to the dinner and the award show.
Yep, absolutely open to everyone.
Good. And you mentioned Pickle Me Poconos, which is happening in October. What is that event?
So we're in our 6th year. It's the Pickle Me Poconos Festival. It's a pickle-themed festival, so it's what it sounds like. We usually have around 120 vendors. This year we have around 25 food vendors, 15 pickle vendors, and then some fun crafts and businesses that get to hop in and show what they have as well. And it brings in a lot of attendees. We also have live music. This year, for the first time ever, we're having a pickleball court, so that'll be super fun. So it's just a great way to tend to our local businesses, give them a spotlight, and the attendees get to have a great time as well.
Everything pickle.
Yeah, everything.
I understand there's pickle drinks, right? Pickle food. There's
pickle dirty sodas, pickle sorbet, pickle popcorn.
It sounds disgusting, but it's actually
pickle
pretty
beer.
good.
Pickle beer.
It's actually pretty good stuff. It's funny.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's happening on Crystal Street in East Stroudsburg. To get there, it's free though, right? Free admission.
Yep, free event.
Right? Free event.
Yep.
So that we don't want to miss a date on that again.
That's October 4th from 12 to 5 in Crystal Street, East Stroudsburg.
I know the Chamber's always looking for sponsorships. Now, businesses can sponsor a lot of the events that the Chamber puts on. You have your annual events, like you mentioned Busy Awards, you mentioned Pickle Me Poconos, there's annual dinners and things like that. And there's also networking events, like you mentioned, and Women in Business Luncheon. So sponsorships that really can benefit a business too.
Absolutely. It's great promotion to sponsor an event. And what's great is every year we do create sponsorship packages that we can create to exactly what you're looking for. So, if you give us a budget, say, I'm looking to spend this much on marketing, I really want to strengthen my initiatives this year. You could tell us what you're looking for, tell us the events you're interested in, we'll create a sponsorship package for you that benefits you for the whole year.
How do you think residents and businesses can get more involved with the chamber?
I would say, it's as easy as reaching out to us. We're always a call away, or we're right on Main Street. Stop on in, we'll schedule a meeting. I think being a part of your local chamber is one of the best things you could do for your business. We can only succeed if we're strong together, and having a bolstering business community is beneficial to everyone.
What do you think is the most fun you have on your job?
So much fun. From my ever-changing days to, I never know what I'm going to walk into. But I would say the most beneficial and valuable part that I find in my everyday life at the Pocono Chamber is our ribbon cuttings. Watching a business, have this plan and seeing it to come to fruition, and it's their opening day and they're so excited, and you're listening to, I've been dreaming of this for years and years, and it's finally here, and they chose Monroe County as where they want their dream to be is so wonderful to watch. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to become a member of the chamber, or they just want to talk to you about membership, they want more information, how do they go about doing that?
So you'd find our website, poconochamber.org. There's a big old join button right on the top, and you'd hit that button, you'd fill out an application, and then you'd have one of our staffers reach out to you, and we'll schedule a call, talk about the benefits, and then if you're interested, we just go from there.
Sarah, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.